You look like look at the difference.
Well, you're sitting on the. Are you sitting on the edge?
I'm sitting up.
I'm sitting up. All right. How's that better?
Well, it'll look better. All right.
It's so predictable.
What is in that?
Just peppermint tea.
Hey, everybody. It's out of control. It's what it is.
Are you ready to redefine what it means to thrive at any age? Welcome to Age is Just a Number with BJ and Ruth. In your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, you deserve to live your best life. Say goodbye to preconceived notions and let's shatter those stereotypes together. Get ready to own your vitality because age, well, that's just a number.
Hey, everybody. It's BJ.
And Ruth.
And we're back talking all things health and fitness, and just want to welcome you to the new year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And we want to talk about some things about the new year and your health and fitness goals and plan. And specifically, we want to talk today about the 5 things that you need to be doing if you're over 40 and you want to add some muscle. And I think we were just talking about this, that I think it's important to note that when we talk about adding muscle, it applies to women and applies to men. Mm-hmm. And you know, I've heard this, and I know you've heard this from people over the years, that women have said, well, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get big.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important to understand that as a woman, you're not going to get big by going...
It's virtually impossible to just pick up a dumbbell and get big.
Yeah. And it's going to take... You're going to get, if you want to add a whole bunch of muscle as a woman, or as a man for that matter, you need to do it on purpose, right? It won't happen by accident.
It doesn't happen just because you pick up a dumbbell. No.
Yeah. So, and I think we talked about it in one of the videos. You're actually in the process of leaning out muscle-wise.
I'm bringing down my muscle, and I'm doing it slowly so that I don't just take the muscle I have and turn it into body fat, as the body would naturally want to do. So I'm slowly backing it up. And when I say slowly, it took me 10 years to build it. So far, it's taken me 4 years to bring it down. And it's this ongoing process still.
Yeah. So... you know, if you're watching and you as a woman are saying, well, how does this apply to me? I think we've talked about this in earlier episodes, just the overall importance of having a toned physique, having muscle on your body, because that's what affects your body's long-term ability to stay lean. Muscle is metabolically active. We know that. And fat is obviously not.
Obviously not. So the more muscle, the lean tissue that you're carrying, the better you're going to be able to burn fat.
Yeah, period. Or calories for that matter. So we want to talk today about what are 5 things that you should be doing if you are over 40. And really this applies to any age, but specifically if you are over 40, we want to give you 5 things that you need to be doing in 2024. And before we even get to number 1, the first thing is, I think you need to understand this is going to require you committing to a plan, whatever that looks like for you. There's no, well, I'm going to do these things, and then we've talked about this, that by the end of January, you're not going to have some amazing results. So there has to be a commitment, I think, to the plan, to the process, to the whole year.
Yeah, like you're going to come into 2024, BJ, with going into a competition prep. Mm-hmm. You're going to be so structured, and so you're going to have the blinders on. You've got a goal in sight. I won't have that. So here I am in the new year saying, well, what do I want to tweak? What do I want to look like? So I won't be as structured as you are, but yet still going through the process of what is it that I want to accomplish, and then how do I make that happen?
Yeah, and you're committing. I think that's the thing we're talking about. You're going to have to commit to whatever it is you decide to do here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So number 1, if you're any age really, but again, we're specifically talking about being over 40, is taking 10 minutes to stretch with every workout that you do, especially as you age. mobility becomes an issue because we're not stretching, because you're not taking your joints, not just your muscles, but your joints, your ligaments through full range of motion. And ultimately, lack of mobility will have a negative effect on your body's ability to hold muscle, to create muscle. And the other thing, and probably to me, one of the most important, is avoiding injury.
Well, that's the key.
Right?
Yeah.
And one thing to understand, and the reason we talked about this being you making a commitment, is if you stop stretching, your stretching gains will go away. Mm-hmm. Right? And they will probably go away faster than muscle gains that you have made.
Yeah.
A great example would be, we all remember there was a time where we could touch our toes without any problem. But what does that look like now? From lack of use, right?
Right.
So, 10 minutes, it doesn't have to be a huge amount of time, but it does need to be in your plan of your workout plan, of your health and fitness plan, is 10 minutes of stretching just to get everything, moving, avoiding injury, and keeping, you should be able to, for example, touch your toes without bending your knees, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to do those kind of things. So make sure that you incorporate some kind of stretching plan, okay? Number 2, and we've talked about this in quite a bit of detail because we did a full episode on it, is number 2 is make sure that you are consuming enough protein, okay? So the numbers are 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram, and as you age, that number goes up. So it's 2 grams per kilogram as you age and as it goes on. And I pause a little bit because I've never done kilograms in body weight. We always did pounds for all of that.
So we're old.
Well, speak for yourself. But here's the thing, unlike, and you can watch the episode that we did talking about protein and breaking it down in more detail, but unlike carbs and fat, your body doesn't store protein. So you have to keep putting protein in your body for your body to use it. There's not a storage of protein. So making sure you have sufficient protein intake is going to be absolutely vital for you to add muscle, maintain muscle, keep muscle, stay, we talked about it from the beginning. It may not even, like what we think of adding muscle, it might just be you'll look more toned, right? For the women out there, you may not look, like big and muscular, but you'll look more toned, you'll look more svelte. How's that for a more descriptive word? So protein is vitally important. Okay, number 3, and we have episodes coming out on this as well, but number 3 is getting enough sleep. Your body recovers when you sleep. So 6 to 8 hours is what is recommended. For me, I try to keep my sweet spot to about 7 hours. And I try and plan everything around there. It's interesting. There was a study done where they took a group, and one group was 5.5 hours or less of sleep. Maybe it was less than 5.5 hours. The other group was 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. And in the test, they were on a training regimen, they were on a restricted diet, all of those things. And this was a study done in 2010. So when it all was said and done, let me just read this because I have the numbers right in front of me. So it's 5.5 hours versus 8.5 hours. And both groups lost about the same amount of body weight. However, here, watch this. The 5.5 hour sleep group, they had 60% more muscle loss. And the 8.5 hour sleep group had 55% less fat loss. So they lost more fat and kept more muscle by keeping by getting enough sleep. So that's the importance again of the whole sleep schedule and maintaining that sleep schedule. Okay, what are we on? Number 4. And we, on the same video that we did talking about protein, we did, which is number 4, which is consuming creatine. So you can check that video out, but creatine is real simple. 5 grams a day is all you need to take in, and it's naturally occurring, but it'll help your body to process ultimately create more muscle. Creatine is most studied supplement right now that's out there. And there are, so far in all of the studies for all of these years, there are no side effects. There are numerous health benefits that go beyond just muscle, with even mental health, with obviously with muscle. And they're saying that there are some benefits for dealing with cancer and things like that as well. And so it's wide ranging. You can watch the video on that to get all the details for it. And the last one is cutting alcohol. Now, that might not be very exciting for some people.
That's probably the most painful one for some people, but.
Right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Alcohol consumption will inhibit protein synthesis in your body. Pretty simple. I don't think there's another way to wrap that up and talk about that. And it may just mean for you that maybe it's just cutting down the amount, right? Or the frequency, whatever it might be. But looking ahead, you have to decide what's important. And if your health and your fitness is important, then this should be something that you consider incorporating into your plan for health and fitness. And talking about 2024, these are things that you can do as a lifestyle period, not just for 1 year, right? These are, like we talk about, these things are not just a one-time, I'm going to do this for a month, I'm going to do this for a week or whatever it might be. Make a commitment to yourself, make a commitment to your health, make a commitment to your future, and start applying. You may say, well, I'm going to do one of those things. That's great. You may say, I'm going to do 5 of those things. And, really simply put, if you do all of them, you're going to get better results than if you do one of them. That's about as simple as it gets, right?
It is, yeah.
So, so make that commitment to yourself, really, for building the best you physically. And we've talked about this too, that how when you do that and take care of your body, you're going to have a better mental outlook on things. Your mental health is going to improve. You're going to find out that you're going to be more productive on your job. You're going to find out that you're better in your relationships and all of those things, because everywhere you go, this body is what gets you around. So if it's hurting, if it doesn't feel good, it's going to relate or affect everything else that you have and that you're doing as well. So, hey, just one other thing, if you haven't, please take a minute, subscribe to our channel. We're putting out regular content every week, and you want to make sure that you're not missing any of it. So subscribe and you'll get all the notifications for that. And as we said recently too, our goal is to get to 100 subscribers. And our goal to do that is because I want to get Ruth's protein pancakes. So and we're going to make the recipe available at that time too. But once we get there, we're going to go to the kitchen and shoot the whole thing of making it and everything else. And I'm going to get to eat them.
He gets to eat them.
So
I can eat them too. They're really good. They're healthy. They're good.
Yeah. So no sugar.
No sugar, no carbs.
No carbs. And lots of protein.
Lots of protein.
Right? So take a minute and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
Bye.